Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Today new video with Ableton Drift, and I'm gonna show you how to create some nice techno bass. Let's go inside Ableton. So we have our bass line which sounds like this. Alright, so for that we're gonna need Ableton Drift obviously, and we're gonna use sawtooth on oscillator 1, but we're gonna use this sawtooth which is specific to Drift, which you see with shape at 0 sounds kind of muffled, but if you crank up the shape, you got something really more buzzy and sounding like a Moog sawtooth kind of. We're gonna raise this to 0, and we're gonna crank up the gain of oscillator 1, and later on it's gonna overdrive the filter. So around 1.2. One of the characteristics of the sound is to add the second oscillator that you're gonna detune 5 semitones. So the waveform again, we're gonna do sawtooth. We're gonna bring out the same octave range and detune 5 semitones. Maybe crank up the volume a little bit. Okay. Now we can add a bit of noise. Noise, when you apply it very gently, can add a bit of excitement to your note. Now the idea is that we have this rich sound. We're gonna use a low pass filter that we're gonna bring down and then modulate slightly with an envelope. So for this case, we're gonna use a 24 dB low pass filter. So we're gonna select the type in 2, which is our 24 dB. Bring down the frequency. Okay, so now the sound is very muffled, but the idea is to modulate with an envelope. So we're gonna go here and modulate with envelope 1 around probably 30%. So you want something plucky a little bit, but you don't want it too sharp. You can augment the attack as well to make the sound a bit softer. And now we're gonna bring down the sustain to make it a bit more pluckier. And now the thing is, we bring the release and the GK up, we get nice sound. So the idea is to being able to control the GK and the release together in the same time. So what we're gonna do is gonna click here and press Ctrl G. We're just gonna edit 6 macro, and we're gonna basically map the GK and the release both together to macro 2. Now we can easily play with both of them. Now we can map the filter as well, obviously, and rename everything. One thing you can do with the filter is add a bit of key tracking, which means that basically your filter is gonna follow the note you press. So the lower the note, the lower your filter is gonna go down, and the higher the note you press, the more your filter is gonna open. Right, one of the things I love with Drift is when you switch to mono mode. It's perfect for bass because you have this mono thickness parameter here that you can crank up to add some lower harmonics. So I'm gonna put spectrum here and watch around this zone, and you're gonna see when did you see like this frequency just appear? Here, and that's great to really add some beefiness to your bass. It adds some character. So this we can map to macro 3 as well and rename it. And another great thing with Drift is actually the drift parameter, which gonna slightly add a bit of modulation on each voice on the pitch and the filter. So kind of create this analog feeling, which is always slightly changing, ever changing. And you're gonna hear kind of detuning effect. So yeah, this adjusts to your taste, and we can now map it to macro 4 Drift. Alright, and for Drift, that's it. We're just gonna add a bit of delay first and reverb after, just to obviously add a bit more of movement and put the sound into a space. Delay, I'm just gonna use my default preset, which is in like sync and 3 with 38% feedback. And the dry weight, we can map it to the macro 5. Now you can slightly filter it differently. It's entirely up to you. And finally, we're gonna add some reverb. So that's my default reverb patch as well. I made a video where I share it already, but you can just copy the parameter, and that's usually like a preset that works well. And macro map to macro 6, and we're good to go. Alright, this preset is available for free, link in the description. This preset is part of my Ableton Drift Techno preset bank. If you want to grab it, it's a great way to support me. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.